Alright, well, hello YouTube. I tried to record this video before, but it didn't quite come out the way I wanted it to. So, I'm going to try again. So, what I'm here to show you is a little library I wrote for the Arduino, which makes possible quite a few interesting little things, and more importantly, makes them a little easier for people who might not be as programming inclined, I guess. So essentially what it is, and this is assuming you have some prior knowledge of what a RESTful web API is. Essentially, from a browser, from curl, from any library that uses HTTP to initiate actions or get data can use this Arduino library to communicate with the Arduino via HTTP headers and the data contained within the actual packet, I guess you could say. So what my software does is it will actually turn pins on the Arduino on and off, or pulse them for a specified number of repetitions with a specified period. So basically you can make it blink in n times and have a delay of n divided by, or the delay divided by 2 as in between the pulses. So by the way, I'm sorry I keep clearing my throat. I have a little bit of a cold at the moment. So in any case, I'm going to try to show you more or less how it works, but it's kind of hard because the webcam takes such shitty video. So I'm going to attempt to show you on the screen what the API call looks like, because I'm going to just use a regular get, so I'm going to just use the web browser. So let me just line it up before I switch over to the other thing. And so sorry about the shakiness. Alright, so, and it's kind of hard to see there, so, alright, so I will go over here. So, as you can see, here is the IP address it's assigned to my Arduino's Ethernet card. Here's the name of the web service it's providing, and here's the name of the function of that web service. You'll note that there are a few parameters here. So for pulse, I have repeat, which is going to tell it to pulse 10 times. We have the pin, which is going to tell it to send the pulse out on the pin 7, and of course the period, which for those physics majors out there and physics know-it-alls, this is the time from one peak of a wave to the other. So basically this is the well, actually no, not the peak, it's basically the time between two complete revolutions of the pulse. So that means it's going to be on for 250 milliseconds and off for 250 milliseconds. So this is about half a minute here. So when I show you the Arduino, it's going to pulse 10 times, and it's going to pulse once every half second. So let me go over to the Arduino real quick, make sure you have a nice view of it before I set this off, and here we go. So yeah, that might seem relatively useless, but let me show you a couple other things too. So I'm going to change the function to on, get rid of these other parameters here. So I'm just going to turn on pin 7. So alright, back to the Arduino. Now behold, boop, turns on, and now I have another API call, which is simply replacing the on with off. I'm not going to bother going back to the screen because I hate lining it up. So anyway, boop, turns off. So now you get to hear me yak for a little bit longer before I conclude the video. Alright, so whoop-de-doo, we can turn a light on and off, right? Well, the thing is that pulse or that signal can be used to power bigger things. That signal could go out to a transistor, it could go out to a relay. There are relays that can transfer, well, of course there's relays that can transfer AC current, essentially is what I'm trying to say. So you could do a lot of things. You could have a outlet in your house that's connected to one of these pins through a relay. You could have a garage door that you could open and close from the internet using this web API. You could even take the library itself and modify it a little bit more to customize it and make it actually more related to the things in your house or wherever that you're trying to control remotely over the internet. Now, because the Ethernet shield also has an SD card reader in it, you could also put HTML images, so on and so forth, onto a SD card, and then upload, or when they request a page, you could actually return a page to them and maybe make it so that you have a layout of your house and you could like go click on different areas and turn the lights on and off in those different parts of the house. Now obviously this is probably not something that most people want to do, because it would mean you would have to go to where your light switches are and essentially rig up another you'd have to rig up a relay, and you'd have to make it so that the light switch powers the relay essentially, and then have another set of wires coming off of it going to the Arduino. So you'd end up having the relay would turn on when you flip the light switch, and then if the Arduino applied power to that pin that's going to another connection on the relay, or maybe a separate relay, you could power whatever that light switch is connected to. Really cool stuff. Now obviously this does introduce some huge security holes, because unless you secure this thing or you use some type of password, you would still have people who might be able to do some damage to your house depending on what you have hooked up to these pins. Now of course, because of how little space there is on Arduino, about 2 kilobytes on the Uno, you would be really hard pressed to try to fit a HTTPS server on here, so you wouldn't be able to use any tunneling or anything for your passwords. So you're kind of stuck with just regular old HTTP, unless you can get an Arduino Mega and then get one of the shields that gives it 512 kilobytes of memory. And then you might be able to do something. But for the time being, you just have to store those passwords maybe on that SD card, and make it so that only an authorized password, which you could send either as a query parameter or you could send it in the body itself as JSON or as post data. So anyway, the possibilities are limitless. Anything that you have in your house that has a switch, you could hack together something with this Arduino and control over the internet, assuming you have the Ethernet shield and a library like mine, or I'll just use mine, shameless plug. So anyway, I'm not sure if I'll make any more videos like this. I mean, programming is my passion in life, so I would like to, but who knows? We'll see if this one gets any recognition, and then maybe we'll do some tutorials or something. Anyway, thanks for listening for 9 minutes and 25 seconds, and have a good day.